Hello and welcome to Dynamo Football Book Club Injury Time, episode 26. This week we are doing our 1950s World Cup draft. So we will be selecting 5 players each from players who featured in the 1950s World Cup, i.e. not Alfredo Di Stefano, and we will be picking an AI team that will do battle and then inevitably Johnny will win. My name's Alistair Bond, and I'm joined by my co-host, Johnny Coughlin. Johnny, you're sorting out some tax issues.
Yeah, I am, Al. Thank you very much.
Looking Al Capone over here, like, that's how they get you, is for tax in the end, like. Good.
Terminou o jogo com a vitória do Uruguai. Uruguai, os campeões mundiais de futebol de 1950, reconquistando o título que haviam obtido em 1930 e perdido depois para a Itália.
The money was simply resting in my account.
Well, welcome back to the Dynamo Football Book Club, the podcast equivalent of a lad's mag for banterific chat. No, that's not true, is it? I'm responsible for that, Johnny. I was thinking about that. You should push me back. You should push back on me. I live in Florida, Johnny. I don't know what acceptable discourse is anymore. But talking of banterist chat, do you know where the 1954 World Cup final was?
Oh, yeah, Wankdorf Stadium in Bern. Well, this has come up. But tell us straight out the gate, what's your favourite World Cup from the 1950s?
54.
Why?
It's the highest scoring World Cup ever. Don't tread on my interesting facts from the future, but I like the highest World Cup scoring ever. I like the idea of that. But 58, it was just a sexy time for football, the 50s, Johnny. I really enjoyed looking into this. Favourite one? Yeah, 54. What's yours, Johnny? Begs the question.
Well, I suppose in our books, the footballers we know about started from 1958, really. That was the beginning of footballers that we've really got any knowledge of, from Pelé, Garrincha. Nilson Santos, who we know all about from various books, is also in the 54 one. But the Maracanaza, I guess, is the final in 1954, is the game that probably the earliest game that has come up in the books that we've talked about.
1950. It was in 1950.
I keep saying 1954. I know it's 1950. Sorry.
Yeah, man, that game still has a huge place in the Brazilian psyche. Man, they still bang on about it. Like, still to this day, like, any artist or anyone who's written a fucking poem in Brazil is like, oh, the pain of 1950, my grandfather's shame. Yeah, get over it, lads. Get over it.
It's the reason they wear yellow, right? They abandoned white afterwards.
Well, that was a great move, wasn't it? That was a good move. I hate white football shirts. Sorry, England, but I do.
Sorry, England. England will manage to get through, I'm sure. Do you want to give me some 1950s World Cup facts?
I certainly do, Johnny. Well, let's go chronologically. So, 1950, the World Cup was in Brazil. And how many teams do you need for a decent tournament? 13. That's how many teams turned up. Well done. Well done. And because of that, the 1915 World Cup there wasn't even a final, Johnny. There wasn't even a final. It was all done through a really weird group stage. So the alleged final, the Maracanazo, was in fact the final group game. And in fact, Brazil only needed to avoid defeat to win the World Cup. A feat they did not achieve. Fun facts, Scotland qualified but refused to play, and India qualified but also refused to play. There's reports it's because they wanted to play barefoot. That's always a fun fact, isn't it?
Well, it's not true. I was reading about this and I outsourced my research today to a friend of mine, Ned Murphy. Thank you, Ned. And he was telling me some of these factoids. But yeah, India just didn't have the money to travel. But there's been a long-standing myth that it was because they weren't allowed to play barefoot. But it was the first World Cup after the Second World War, so there was a bunch of the bad guys were not allowed to play. So Germany and Japan were still not admitted. But, you know, the winners take the spoils, and to qualify for the World Cup in 1954 through Europe, you just had to take part in the British Home Nations competition.
Well, let's get on to that. Yeah, okay. So to finish off with 1950, it was the first time the trophy was ever called Jules Rimet. That's a shit fact, isn't it? All right, moving on to 1954. Switzerland, a hotbed of football. Germany beat Hungary 3-2. Germany were on methamphetamines in the final. Hungary were 2-0 up at half-time, lost 3-2. By the way, in the group stage, these two teams played each other, and Hungary just snuck past the Germans 8-3. Fucking dirty crats. They should have still been banned. Am I allowed to say that? You see, this is what I'm talking about, Johnny. This is where I need the pushback. It was the highest scoring World Cup ever for 1954. In 26 games, there were 140 goals, 5.38 goals per game. You'll be hearing about goal per game averages a lot more. The quarterfinal between Austria and Switzerland finished 7-5, the highest ever scoring game in a World Cup finals. Scotland's first tournament, yep. And Hungary in the tournament scored no less than 27 goals. Those magnificent Magyars.
Do you know how Turkey qualified for the 1954 World Cup?
I do not.
Again, thanks to Ned Murphy.
Is Ned Murphy what you call AI in Ireland? Is that what it is? Get on the old Ned Murphys. It's the Irish AI. Like there's big farms in Ireland. For Ned Murphy, the AI.
So I asked Ned Murphy, the Irish AI, for some fun facts, and this is what he told me. He said that the World Cup seeding for the actual competition was done before the teams had even qualified. So Spain were were listed as a seeded team, but they had to get past Turkey first. And after 2 games, they were drawing. So it was determined by, what would be a sensible way of determining the outcome?
Maybe a game or something, Johnny?
Coin. So Turkey not only qualified by coin toss, they were immediately seeded, but apparently not very good. And they played West Germany along the way. So that's my /Ned's fun fact for 1954.
Oh, and just another thing. 1954 World Cup was the first World Cup to be on television. It was broadcast. 9 games were broadcast. But moving on to 1958 in Sweden, this was broadcast internationally. This is when football was brought into your homes. Brazil won 5-2, the highest scoring final. It's the only time a European side has not won in a European World Cup. All, as you say, the United Kingdom were there, England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Well done. But previous winners, Uruguay and Italy, failed to qualify. And the magnificent Magyars, unfortunately, who pretty much were the team of the 50s, were decimated by the Russian invasion in 1956. So they did not have the team. So, Johnny, shall we crack on?
Yeah, do you have your coin, my Turkish friend? Do you have a Turkish florin? What did they use? Is it lira? It's lira in Turkey, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I can confirm. I wouldn't have known, as he said. I don't have a coin. Hang on, I'll grab it. I haven't even prepared a coin. Here we go. All right, then. So there is a fairly prominent player. So I think this week we'll do a snake draft, Johnny. So whoever wins the toss gets to pick first, and then the second player will pick 2 players. Are you all right with that?
Absolutely. I hope I lose the toss.
So do I.
Gladiators, ready!
All right, then. Head or tails?
Heads for me, please.
Oh, bollocks. I've dropped it on the floor. It's tails, Johnny. It's tails. I've won the decisive battle. Brilliant. You pick first, Johnny. I'll take the 2 picks. Stick it.
You bastard.
Yeah. Pick first, my friend, and I'm going to get 2 players off. I don't think you need to be worried. I've got some interesting choices here, but let's find out. All right, Johnny. So for the 1950s World Cup, not featuring Alfredo Di Stefano, no World Cup games. Johnny, who is your first pick?
It's in Ranch, the Nascimento. Do you know this guy? Pele.
Rogers Pelé.
And if you want to know anything about Pele, please listen to our previous episode, which was all about him and his book. In fact, I write these columns for this newspaper in West Cork, and today I wrote my column about that book, and it was titled, Pele, how boring.
It is boring, isn't it? But boring in a nice way. Doesn't have a bad word for anyone. I meant to say that in the last podcast.
An altogether lovely man, a stable individual, which makes for an absolutely boring global icon.
Horny though. All right, so you picked. Yeah, you've fallen into my trap there, Johnny. Okay, so this, of course, AI. Turn on AI to make sure old Ned Murphy's listening. Yeah, he was 17 in 1958. So really, as a 50s footballer, I'm not sure he's the best pick. Okay.
Oh, you know what? That is quite. Yeah, you're quite right. You're quite right. You did. You know what? I have fallen into your trap.
Oh, there's another trap I've got for you. All right, I'm going to take my first pick off the board. Ooh, and I'm just happy to say it like the Black Spider. It is Lev Yashin. Lev Yashin. I'm getting the fucking keeper humongous off the board straight away. Now you're left with shitty old Harry Gregg. Boo! I didn't want to talk about him sifting through the Munich air disaster. No, thank you. I'm taking Lev Yashin. Who's he play for? The Dynamo Football Book Club Moscow. So you got to love him. 326 games for them. Lev Yashin saved 150 penalties in his career. Woo! 270 clean sheets. No one's beating him, motherfucking badass. He won the 56 Olympics. He won the 60 Euros. He won the 1963 Ballon d'Or and is a huge cultural figure in Russia. So, yeah, my number one pick in goal is Lev Yashin.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that pick. All right, number two. Now, I've done a lot of research into this, Johnny, and I am told again and again that this was the best player in the 1950s. The numbers don't stack up necessarily, but my second pick is Raymond Copper from France.
What?
Yeah, man. Were you not expecting that?
Absolutely not. I do have him on my list, and I've got a fun fact about Raymond Copper, but go on, you go ahead.
All right, well, lovely. Okay, well, Raymond Copper, it's the original name. He was a Czechoslovakian immigrant, Raymond Kopszewski. Let me just check up on that.
Yeah, Raymond Kopaszewski, however you would say that. And Polish, I think, not Czech. Polish.
Oh, that's what I wanted to check up. Yeah, Polish. Okay. And yeah, I watched like a 15-minute video on YouTube on old Raymond Copper to see his sick skills, and it was fairly unconvincing, to be honest. It's very hard to make yourself look silky back in the 50s with those like cannonball footballs and like
the speed the ball is moving at. I was watching some footage of Pele, and the ball was everything was just so slow. I would have been quick in the 1950s.
You've got to punt it just to pass it to a lad 5 yards away. Like, hey, that who really is heavy. But nonetheless, this lad like absolutely rocked and rolled. He played for 3 teams in his career: Angers, Real Madrid, and Reims. And he only played 60 games for Angers, but the stadium's named after him. How about that? 60 games. Nuts, isn't it? The under-21 Ballon d'Or is named after Raymond Copper, and he won the Légion d'honneur en France. Oui, oui. Yeah, so what's your interesting fact about him, Johnny?
He was born in France, but his family were Polish immigrants. At the age of 14, he followed in the footsteps of his grandfather, father, and brother and worked in a coal mine where he lost a finger in a mining incident. There you go.
And there goes his goalkeeping days. That's what forced him up front into the 10 position. But yeah, this is it. Absolutely beautifully gifted player and considered by many to be the best player in the 1950s, and was one of the first false nines, apparently.
So
sounds bullshit.
Just to be clear, you didn't pick Puskas.
I did not pick Puskas.
I'm picking Puskas. I now have the nicest team. Not just the best team, but the nicest team. Because our boy, French, I think that's who you said, we found out at the time, Puskas is the nicest man. The nicest. Him and Keegan are the 2 soundest chaps. And what's to say about the Galloping Major? Again, we have an episode on Puskas, and I really encourage listeners to listen if you haven't heard that one before, because that really was one of the books I enjoyed most for his wide-eyed wonder at the world as he travelled around. But you've obviously seen pictures of latter-day Puskas, right?
Yes, of course.
He was some size of a man by the end, yeah. Okay, in 85 international games for Hungary, how many goals did he score?
68.
84. And how many goals did he score for his other nation of Spain? 4 games, no goals. And then he got he was a man for scoring goals, 670 and 659. But yeah, he is a kind of a Real Madrid legend, and I suppose the most famous from from that magic Hungary team of the 1950s, which won the Olympics but never won the World Cup.
Okay, so you've got Pele and Puskás. How do I get myself? Oh, my next pick. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, bollocks. All right, so for my next pick... okay, yeah, all right, I'm going for his Hungarian mate. I'm going for Sandor Kocsis. Sandor Kocsis. I don't know, it's Kocsis. Now, this is a lad, Johnny, who I had never heard of. And this lad was absolutely fucking mint. I think, I talk about Raymond Copper being the great forgotten footballer. This is the great forgotten footballer. Okay, so Sandor Kocsis plays for Hungary, Honved, and then he plays for Barcelona, which I had no idea of. All right, you enjoyed your little stats with Puskás. Let me give you some fucking stats now for my boy Sandor. He played 68 games for Hungary. How many goals had he scored?
75.
You cheating bastard. The highest average for any player ever in international football. He has a 1.1 goal average per game. No one else comes close. I hope Ronaldo has not come close since that statistic was written down. But more than this, Johnny.
I was correct. 75. I didn't cheat there. That was a guess.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
No one's going to believe you, Johnny. I don't believe you. Oh, right. Well done. Yeah, there you go. Well, 1.1, you must have just sensed it. In the 1954 World Cup, before they were robbed by the Germans, he scored, count them, 11 goals in 5 games. That's 2.2 goals per game average, Johnny, in a World Cup. The second highest ever. Now, do you know, and I bet my fucking hat you don't know, who has the highest average goals per game in World Cup history?
Is it the German boy? What's his name?
Closer.
Yeah,
Miroslav Klose.
Not even closer.
Yeah, well, he took it straight out of my mouth. No, here's a fun fact, Johnny. The highest average goals per game was Ernst Wilimowski, a Polish player. He played 1 game in 1938 versus Brazil, scored 4 goals, but still lost 6-5. Ouch!
He won't be beat, will he?
But check out this lad's record. Wilimowski, never heard of him. In 484 official games, 683 goals. Motherfucking Wilimowski, never even heard of him. Anyway, going back to my boy, Sandor Kocsis. Okay, so yeah, 2.2 goals per game average in the World Cup finals. So, he was described as the best ever header of a ball by some Hungarian bloke from the time. And he had a restaurant in Barcelona called La Tête d'Or, the Golden Head. Scored 7 international hat-tricks, but how about that 2.2 goals per game average? All right, Johnny.
Why did his restaurant in Spain have a French name? I guess it was a French restaurant.
Je ne sais pas, mon ami.
Well, okay. Well, so you say he scored 11 goals in 1 World Cup. Has anyone ever done better than that?
I don't know. Who have you got in mind?
Well, there's a fella called Just Louis Fontaine, and he scored 13 in 1 World Cup. I'm going to pick him.
You have fallen into my trap. Exactly what I wanted you to do, Johnny. I've fucking played you like a puppet. Oh, yes. Just Fontaine, just 2.16 goals per game average. Fucking shit, mate. If Just Fontaine and Sandor Kocsis were in a game, Just Fontaine would score 2 goals, but my boy Kocsis would score 2.2, thus making me the winner. Are you listening, AI? Are you listening?
Are you listening, Ned Murphy?
Exactly right.
Yeah, our friend Moroccan-born Just Fontaine with the single biggest goal-scoring entry in any World Cup, 13 goals in 1958. And I'm fairly heavily loaded up front here, haven't I?
Yeah, you are. You're cheating. Look, I've written it down. Jay Sewell, death pick, Just Fontaine. I knew you would. Where was he born, Johnny? I know you want to bring that in. Like, born in Marrakesh.
I already said it. It shows how much you listen to me.
I only played 21 games for France, Johnny, over his career. Why?
Well, hopefully his teammates of Pele and Puskas will make up for his shortcomings.
Yeah. I mean, when you say it out loud, Johnny, and you don't listen to my reasoning, it sounds like you've got a good team, but it's no match for my boy Kotsic. All right, so what have I got? I've got 2 picks left, right? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to get him off the board. Yeah, I'm going to go in defence. I want Nilton Santos.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Here's a lad. He was in the squad for 1950. He played in 54, 58 and 62. Won 2 World Cups. I do. He won the very prestigious FIFA Golden Foot Legends Award. He's a golden foot. And he also appears on his Wikipedia page like every single player that we've mentioned as one of Pele's top 125 players of the 20th century. They're all in there. We just do 100. I have 125. So.
He's too nice. He didn't want to leave anyone out.
He left out any Nottingham Forest player, I'll have you know, so do your research. Yeah, he played 723 games for Botafogo. And the Dos Ovas Stadium is named after him. He played 75 games for Brazil, 2 World Cups, the best defender in the world. Your next pick, Johnny.
What was the nickname of Lev Yashin? It was the Black Spider, was it?
The Black Spider or the Black Panther, because he always wore all black as a goalkeeper.
Are you serious? His nickname was the Black Panther?
Mm-hmm.
So this guy I'm picking, a goalkeeper, is also known as the Black Panther. That's why I was asking.
Harry Gregg was known as the Black Panther.
Harry Gregg. Gjola Grosic, the former Hungarian goalkeeper, played 86 times, part of the Golden Team. But here's a nice fact for you, Al. What do you reckon is the oldest debutant for a team ever? Not a national
World
team.
Cup?
No, just a club team.
No, I don't know.
So Grosic was after he was barred from signing for Ferencváros. He tried to defect from Hungary in 1949 and he was caught and he was charged with espionage and treason. But a few years later, they signed him and he made his debut for Ferencváros as an 82-year-old.
Nice fact.
Performing the kickoff in a friendly match against Sheffield United of all teams. And then he was substituted and the crowd gave a standing ovation. You would hope that they gave a standing ovation to 82-year-old Jolo Grosic. But yeah, he was a good goalkeeper from the 1950s.
He was. But I'll tell you what he wasn't as good as. Lev Yashin. Definitely not. Yeah, he would have been, well, I couldn't find anything interesting about him, so I got Harry Gregg, but honestly, my soul left my body when I saw him as a survivor.
Okay, give me your last.
All right, fuck it, Garincha, boom, Garincha, get him in there. Fucking the best. What's he called? The little bird. Johnny, you can tell me all about him because, let's face it, I've forgotten everything. He killed his dad. So, he killed his dad after accident.
And I think he killed his mother-in-law as well.
No, he didn't. He knocked his dad down, but he did kill his mother-in-law, right? Both in motoring accidents. He was also really good at football. Really, really good at football. One of the great tragic figures of football. And I think, certainly one of the top 5 books we've read, I think, whilst doing it. Garincha. What was he called? The little sparrow? The little
bird,
lost his virginity to a goat.
A sheep. Was it a goat? Yeah.
I don't know, whatever, it was sexy. Yeah, Garincha. Oh, I'm glad I got him in there. Yeah, I'm happy with that pick. All right, I think that I've pulled this around. You've got one more pick, Johnny.
Okay. Just make sure he played in the World Cup.
He did play in the 1958 World Cup.
No, I'm talking about...
Oh, your boy.
Yeah, okay. Well. You said that Harry Gregg made your heart sink. You read those Robert Galbraith books, don't you?
I'm not sure I want to admit that on on tape, Johnny. No, what? That man is so hate-filled.
Well, I do as well, to my eternal shame. But do you remember which footballer?
Let's embarrass to read Mein Kampf now, like. You read Mein Kampf, don't you? Yeah. Before I'd read any book by Jay. No, go on, Johnny. Sorry.
Well, the most recent. I'm 8 books deep on this series, and it was centered on a character called William Wright, and the person took the name after Billy Wright of Wolverhampton Wanderers fame. But yes, he played in 3 World Cups, captaining England a record 90 times, Al. One of your brave lions, Billy Wright, went to the World Cup in 1950, 54 and 58. 3 World Cups. And here's a fun fact about the 1958 World Cup, when England lost to America, and the information was sent to England by telegram, and the person received it assumed that the 1-0 in favour of the US was a typo, and published the result as a 10-1 in the newspaper. 10-1 to England. But no. Anyway, I know fuck all about Billy Wright, only that I kind of know his name. He played for Wolves. He managed Arsenal later. He was good at being a defender in the 50s. So he'd probably kick Garrincha hard, as those boys dribble past extremely slowly.
No, I've got no Billy Wright knowledge, other than Billy Wright is the most football-y name for an English bloke you could think of. I think he was like a Beckham. He was very, very glamorous. He married a pop star, I believe. I can't remember it. I think he was a pop star who was a sister. I want to say I don't want to say the Nolan sisters or the
Beverly Sisters.
The Beverly Sisters, yeah. So at the time, he was like a David Beckham posh boy sort of deal. I mean, in the 1950s way. And beyond that, Johnny, that's what I know about Billy Wright. Married a pop star.
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, Al. So so the teams are Team Al, Black Spider, Black Panther, Lev Yashin. You've got Nilson Santos was a good pick there in defence. You've got Raymond Copa, who's kind of an attacking midfielder, I guess. There's a bit of a gap there. Garrincha and the old golden head himself, Cox's Sandor. And you're coming up against the other Black Panther, Giola Grosic. Apologies to Hungarian listeners for my pronunciation. Billy Wright in defence, and no midfield whatsoever. I've got Puskas, Pele, and Fontaine.
Fucking hell! I'm gonna lose.
Go on, give me some honourable mentions there while I type this into the machine.
Well, the honourable mentions would go to any player from Uruguay who won the World Cup in 1950, none of whom we've mentioned, and none of whom I have access to their names at the moment. And also, there's a couple of lads, Helmut Rahm for West Germany, he was shit up. But again, like, it can't not be besmirched by the very, very real allegations of the doping that the Germans involve themselves in. It's
pretty spicy stuff when you say you're going to pick the 10 best players across 10 years, isn't it?
I genuinely was... I think this is the most rewarding thing we've done. Yeah, honestly, Johnny, I've learned so much about these, names that I'd heard of. I had very wrong impressions on a lot of these players. But yeah, it's really fascinating to read up on them. They do all look shit in highlights, so that's a tragedy. If you watch anything on YouTube, it just looks so bloody awful, that whole game. It's very difficult to get excited about these lads because, what we're served up week in, week out, like this high-grade football with.
Anyway, okay. Here we go. Team Al, 1-0, Alistair.
Come on.
Oh my God. Garrincha isolates poor old Billy Wright repeatedly. Copa floats into pockets. Coxage scores with a towering header.
Of course he does.
But the match shift. Pele drops deeper, almost becoming a second defender, letting Puskas and Fontaine stay high. That doesn't sound good for you, Al, does it? Mid-gain swing, the Puskas zone. So Puskas, low drive. 3 goals in 8 minutes. Puskas, low drive, 1-0. Or 1-1. Fontaine, Poacher finish, 2-1. Pele solo run after dispossessing Copa, 3-1. Yashin keeps it from getting worse. Classic keeper sweeper stuff. Okay, that was the other thing I meant to say earlier about Krosic. He was the first sweeper keeper. Tactical collapse for Team Al. Oh my God. But hold on. Krosic pulls one back with a sharp near post volley. Golden.
He's still got 0.2 of the goal left in it, Johnny.
The final 15 minutes. Here we go. Goal. Pele chips Yashin after a give and go. Fontaine scores twice from rebounds. Well, what did you say was the highest scoring ever World Cup? Was it 1954? Well, this is fitting. Team John 6. Count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to Teams Al's 2. Oh. And that's the 30s and the 50s for John, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder if I can get every decade.
That's the final score, is it? 6-2.
6-2, Alistair. Oh my God.
Fucking Ned Murphy has no fucking idea what he's talking about. Like, this is bullshit. There's real balance to my team. You got the best keeper in the world. You got a proper defender.
These AIs are American. And which of these players do you think America has heard of? Have they heard of Sander Koksic?
Well, I'm bringing him back, Johnny. That's my mission in life. I want the world to be talking about Sandor Koksic. Like, he deserves it. I wonder how you actually pronounce his name. Nothing like what I'm saying.
You think that anyone listening in Hungary would be turning it off in disgust, thinking they didn't pick a single Hungarian player, those pricks.
Sandor Koksic. Sounds like a porn actor. Like, yeah, 6-2. That's hard to take, Johnny.
I've got to go lick his wounds. Okay, it's World Cup season on the Dynamo Football Club Book Club, and we are continuing with the life of. We were going to do the Charlton brothers, but we couldn't get it on time, so we are doing the life of Bobby Moore.
Yeah, Bobby Moore. Stole a bracelet, good at football. Genuinely, Johnny, other than that, I don't know. Is a reason for West Ham fans moaning to this day, oh, the West Ham way, mate, West Ham way. Oh, Bobby Moore never would have stood for that, would he? Fucking hell.
Well, I'm a little bit into that, but have you started it?
Not yet. I'm learning
the secrets of the West Ham way. I know now. I'm going to tell Sam Allardyce.
I mean, the secrets of the West Ham way is sort of passing the ball around and finishing 14th in the league, right? That's it. Please let it be finishing 18th in the league this year. Please, God, please.
Yes, it'll be a celebration of West Ham next week on the Dynamo Football Book Club.
It won't be. Okie dokie, well, just below level, like, not one of the mega clubs, but the most annoying of the clubs in the rungs below, for my money. Like,
the most annoying of the clubs in the rung below. More so than, say, Leeds?
Oh, for me, much more, much more. Everton and West Ham hold a special place in my heart where I just think, yeah, I don't like you. Just don't like them.
What about Spurs?
I quite like Spurs.
I think everyone kind of likes Spurs, which is the most insulting thing you can say about Spurs.
Yeah, that's it. They're not well. I know. Well, again, I mean, this season, please God, Anyway, all right, lovely stuff.
Okay, Alistair, thank you very much, and we will chat to you next week. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and please do give us a little rating there if you get the chance. Thank you very much.
No, thanks to fucking Ned Murphy. Thanks, everyone. Cheerio.
Os jogadores brasileiros são abraçados e saudados pelos colegas.
Last question. Thank you very much indeed.